Hi, and welcome back to the channel on the college process. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Prep, and today we're going to be going over what to know if you're looking to appeal for more financial aid assistance. But before we start, if you are new to the channel and are looking for additional college content, please hit the subscription button down below. It will notify you when new videos do come out. As well as if you have any comments or questions throughout today's video, please leave them down below as well in the comment section. I do answer any questions you guys leave down below in the comment section. As well as if you do enjoy today's video, please leave us a like. It does help the channel. As well as, once again, for the senior class of 21-22 academic year, we are once again running the James Russell Memorial Scholarship. If you are looking for scholarship assistance, once again, just watch this video here. It's in the description down below, explaining how to apply for the scholarship to allow us here to provide scholarship funds for you guys out there watching. As well as, if you are looking to also help the channel out, we also do have down below in the description as well our Venmo for the organization, as well as the organization's buy us a coffee to allow us to keep making these college videos for you guys out there. And with all that being said, let's jump right into today's video. What to know if you're looking to appeal for more financial aid assistance. Now, before we jump into today's video, I would suggest, if you guys haven't watched already, we have another video that came out about a week or two ago. This video right here, it's in the description down below as well, the link. Understanding your college financial aid award letter. This will give you a little bit more insight, a little more ideas, so when you guys watch this video here, it will be more valuable. So I would consider watching this video first, then jumping on and watching this whole video to give yourselves more ideas of what you should be doing to appeal, what works, what doesn't, so on and so forth. That being said, right now, most of you have already sent out your applications for admissions as well as your applications for financial aid forms and so on and so forth, the FAFSA, the CSS, etc. And typically what happens is after around 3 weeks or so, once you guys have been accepted, 3 weeks after, you guys start receiving financial aid award letters. Now, on the financial aid award letters are the scholarships, the grants, the loans, and the work programs. These are the things we're going to be talking about here today of what you need to do to appeal, how to go about appealing for more scholarships and more grants. That's what today's video is going to be about. Now, for those that are new to this whole process in the college realm, there are actually 3 different types of appeals out there. The first appeal is through the admissions office if you're looking to get more scholarship help. The second appeal is through the financial aid office if you're looking to get more grant money. And then some schools basically take both and combine them together and do it through a committee. I'm going to go through all 3 of these here, first starting off with the admissions office. Now, for those who are new to this whole process, believe it or not, financial aid offices do not handle any scholarship money. It's all done by the admissions office. So if you're looking to get more scholarship fund, or if you're looking to appeal your scholarship, try to get more in that scholarship component, you need to do it directly through the admissions office. Now, the benefit of scholarship money is it can't be taken away. So for those wondering, should we be scared about appealing? Maybe they take away our acceptance, maybe they take away our scholarship. That will not happen if you're looking to appeal a scholarship, by the way. And when you're looking to appeal a scholarship, you want to think about it as kind of having a debate with your best friend kind of thing. It's something that essentially, if you're looking to use terminology like, this is my number one choice, this is where we really want to go, this is our dream college, so on and so forth, it does have some bearing on it. Now, the number one thing you want to do if you're looking to appeal a scholarship is you want to utilize higher offers, higher scholarship offers, by the way. You can't use grant money to negotiate scholarship money from another college, by the way. They won't look at that. So if you do have higher scholarship offers from other colleges, that's the number one way you can try to leverage, try to negotiate with the admissions office to try to give you more scholarship consideration. Now, typically the way that works is once you have an admissions rep, once you have somebody you're in contact with, you basically go back to them and say, we appreciate the scholarship offer you've given us, but we want to notify you that school XYZ here has given us more. Is there any way you can match that number? That's the ideal way you want to basically talk to them. You always want to ask, can you match the number? You never want to say, can we meet in the middle? You want to first say, can you match the number? See, where is it they can come back with basically a second offer, let's call it. Let's say you don't have a higher offer from another school. They've given you the most scholarship money, or no one else has given you scholarship money. Very simple. You can always go back and appeal based on other considerations. You can use the student's class ranking. You can use the student's SAT, ACT scores, their GPA, the rigor of their schedule, taking out AP courses, IB courses, high level, honors, college prep, etc. All these things can be used to try to leverage, try to ask admissions for more consideration of scholarship funding. The goal with admissions typically is twofold. Number one, you either want to use a higher offer from another college, or you, number 2, want to basically inundate them with as much information as possible. So basically for number 2, essentially you can combine everything together and say, other schools have given us more, as well as we have a high GPA, we have great test scores, so on and so forth, kind of throwing like everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Now, admissions right off the bat has more discretion than financial aid. So they're able to increase scholarships a lot easier than the financial aid office is able to increase grant money. Now, when it comes to the scholarship money, there is one benefit over the financial aid office as far as grant money, and that's that scholarship money is guaranteed for 4 years. So you have essentially guaranteed length of award here that you don't have with the financial aid office, because grants can go up or down every year depending on your family's financial situation. Now that being said, let's jump right into the financial aid component, the second part or the second appeal you might be looking to do here. Now when you're doing an appeal for extra grant money, you do not always do a financial aid appeal for more grant money. You have to kind of sit down and figure out what it is you want to do, what it is you're looking to kind of get accomplished here. Because there are some times you do not do a financial aid appeal with the financial aid office for more grant money, and I will be detailing that a little bit later on in the video why you don't in all cases do a financial aid appeal with the grant money. So now for the financial aid office, let me start off by saying they don't care about if they're your first choice, they don't care about grades, they don't care about test scores, they're focused directly on numbers. Income numbers and asset numbers are the only thing that they care about in the financial aid office. So you have to have that mindset right off the bat. So you basically have to have some change in your income and assets that happened since you filled out the financial aid forms. Because let me give you an example. Let's say you fill out the FAFSA form, and the FAFSA form indicate you guys can afford to pay $200,000 towards the cost of college, or $100,000 towards the cost of college. If nothing has changed with you financially, let's say, your income, your assets, everything else basically stayed the same, they're not going to consider your financial aid appeal. They're just not. There's got to be some kind of change here for them to consider it at all. Now the number one change typically is an income change. And let me give you an example. So let's say you made $100,000 in 2 years ago. And I say 2 years ago because for all financial aid forms, they use tax information from basically 2 years ago. And let's say the year that just passed, you guys dropped from the $100,000 income down to $85,000 income or even below that. Now typically most financial aid offices, by the way, are looking for at least a 10% drop in your income before they consider any financial consideration of appeal. Now obviously if you're getting unemployment and the unemployment covered the amount you lost, then your appeal is probably not going to work out. But if you did get unemployment and it wasn't anywhere near the income you were making before, then yes, I would be looking to do an appeal here. Now, if you didn't have a job loss, unemployment, furloughs, this kind of stuff, or income drop, it doesn't mean you can't apply to the financial aid office for more grant money. There are other reasons you can apply for more grant money. If you've gotten separated or divorced, if you have large medical expenses, if you've been, had a natural disaster, if there's been a death in the family, any of these things, any big considerations that have huge impacts on the parent's income or assets can be utilized for an appeal here. Another approach too, if you haven't had big changes financially, is to go look to do the school's net price calculator, because based on your financial situation, if you do the school's net price calculator, you're plugging all the same numbers, and the school's net price calculator at the end shows that you should be getting more grant money, then obviously it's another reason I'd be going back and appealing and asking for more grant consideration here. Now let me give you a reason why you guys should not look to appeal, because a lot of people think you always appeal grant money no matter what. Now, let's say you fill out all the financial aid forms before and you forgot to put that you had a second property, or you were getting child support, or any assets, or any cash, or any investments you have. Once you look to do an appeal, they are going to look a lot more stringently into your finances. They're going to ask not only for the previous 2-year tax return, but the previous year's tax return. So they'll have 2 tax returns to look over all your numbers and look at your interest, your dividends, your capital gains. They're going to see if you have any rental property, what kind of income has coming in from the business. They're going to look at everything. So if you think that you have anything on there that doesn't make sense or they might use against you and actually reduce your aid, because in the world of financial aid for grant money, they can reduce your grant money, believe it or not, if they find something you forgot to put on your financial aid forms, then obviously you want to sit down and make sure you know what you're doing here. I do have another video as well on the same topic here. It's a little bit longer than this video here. You can see it right here. It's in the description down below as well, the link to that video. It also goes into a lot of in-depth stuff here about why you should not look to appeal, just in case you forgot to put something on there or anything else pops up on other year tax returns, to kind of avoid that issue where you appeal and then you lose money. Because if you appeal and they take money away and you go back to appeal again, they're going to tell you, look, you forgot to put this on, we're not giving you the money back. It's basically lost. It's kind of the way of thinking about it. So if you've never done an appeal before and you're not sure what you're doing, make sure that you sit down, utilize all the items we talked about here today, as well as watch these 2 videos that I just indicated before, both in the description down below. Now there are some benefits to grant money over scholarships, and one of the big benefits of grant money over scholarships is, even though the scholarships will be guaranteed for 4 years and grants are not, the benefit of grant money is if you have an increase in any of the 3 categories, which is basically the federal money, the state money, or the college aid money, if you have an increase specifically, let's say in Pell Grant money, what will happen is whatever that increase is, that will also increase in your state money if you're staying in state, as well as the college-owned money as well. So let's say you have a $1,000 increase in Pell, that basically means a $1,000 increase in Pell, a $1,000 increase in the state aid, as well as a $1,000 increase in the school's money. So it could be very powerful essentially in the multiplication of the additional asset here, of not just growing the grant in one side, but growing it in 3 different buckets basically for you, providing more assistance here. Now let's talk about the committee. Now, some schools, when you contact them, they'll tell you that we don't do appeals through the financial aid office or the admissions office. They do it through a committee, which basically means you take both your admissions appeal for scholarship money and your grant appeal for the financial aid office, and you basically put them together. You want to make sure to put everything you can into this appeal if the school is doing an appeal through committee, because of the fact they're only going to review you guys once. So you don't want to mess up and send an appeal and then decide, a week or 2 later, oh, we forgot to tell them about X, Y, and Z. You don't want to forget about anything. You have to put it all into the same appeal, because if you don't, they will not look at you completely as an appeal the way you want to. So sit down, take your time with the dream committee, because of the fact that typically they'll only look at you once for that appeal. Now when it comes to appeals, many colleges, as you see here, will ask you guys to do an appeal, basically send it in directly through the student's own portal, which the college has already set up for you. Basically using the student's college accounts online here, you'll see they'll ask you to input all the information, so they make it kind of easy. Other schools use more traditional route when it comes to doing an appeal, and they'll ask you to send in a paper form. And here, of course, whether you're doing it online or whether you're doing it on the paper form, they'll ask you to basically put your appeal, your statement, everything else on there, as well as all your supporting documentation to basically help your cause. Now, even the colleges that use the paper form as well will also ask you to send in the statement as well as any basically paperwork assisting your cause. They'll also typically ask you to send it in through email, through something directly to the committee or the financial aid office or the admissions office per se. Now with all appeals, 3 things will basically happen here. Number 1, you guys will get more aid, whether in grants or in scholarships. Obviously, that's what you guys want. Number 2, you guys will stay exactly where you are, nothing will be changed, which is also in some cases a benefit, believe it or not, because there is also number 3 where the school can, if they see things you forgot to put on the forms or they see things differently from the paperwork you send in, they are able to actually, unfortunately, reduce the grant money they've given you. Now, if you're new to this entire process of doing appeals and you've never done this before and have no idea what you're doing, if you like, at the end of the video, I do provide my contact information. I do help out a lot of families with appeals, whether it's a good idea to do one, whether it's not a good idea to do one, what works, what doesn't work based on your specific case as well. And with all that being said, obviously, if you have any questions, any concerns, please put them down below in the comment section. I do answer any questions you guys do have down below in the comment section. If you do enjoy today's video, please leave us a like. It does help the channel. As well as, once again, we are running this year the James Russo Memorial Scholarship for the 21-22 academic year for the seniors out there. So if you want to be eligible for the scholarship, down below in the description is a link to the James Russo Memorial Scholarship to explain how it works. As well as also in the description down below, we do have the organization's Venmo as well as our Buy Us Coffee. Right here, you guys can see it in the description down below. We have both of those down there if you want to help out, support the channel to allow us to keep making these college videos for you guys out there. And on the screen now, you see our contact information. That's my cell phone number. You can either call or just send me a text, as well as the organization's email if you want to send us an email. And other than that, thank you for watching today's video. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Prep.